Hi guys, welcome to this Find My Stock tutorial. Today I want to discuss what we discussed in the morning, like how we become financial independent with the help of real estate, right? So we talked about buying multiple homes, and we buy under the no EMI till possession. And what I am describing is typically it's Indian context. It's important because it's widely practiced in India that you buy a property under construction property, and there is a chance that bank will not charge you a EMI till it gets completed. And this bank and builder and yourself, this is a tri-party agreement that comes in picture, and we want to see how that is beneficial for an individual investor in real estate. So so for that I'm gonna draw a scenario. So and it's very important that we watch the previous video, because that video has a context of buying multiple properties, and then there's now I'm going to justify how those investments are needs to be done. So my first understanding in the previous video was, so we first draw a timeline. So for example, let's take this is the horizon. So this is 0. I divide this in bucket of 5. This is 5 years, this is 10 years, and this is 15, and this is 20. This is in years. Okay, so let's say um, this is I'm going to talk about my personal experience, so just excuse me if it doesn't fit your, but I think from understanding purpose this is a case example, so we should be able to understand. So I have a home here. This is the first home uh, at this point, and let's say currently this is we are servicing a loan of, let's say this is a small home, so in India let's say it's cost 30 lakh rupees, and this is the loan outstanding at this point of time, and and this has been possession has been given. So I own this home, and outstanding loan is 30 lakh. Now at this point also I have added another property which will be completed. I've already purchased, so purchased in the same under construction. So this property is, again, let's say for simplicity we'll use a rounded number, so for example 40 lakh. Now this property which requires 30 lakh rupees of kind of equivalent EMI, 30 in India typically 1 lakh become, for calculation purpose, 1000 rupees of EMI per month. So 30 lakh outstanding means 30,000 rupees of home loan. So this is our cost loan amount, and if I have to just write EMI on top, so I will say this is 30,000 EMI. Now this property second one, I'm not paying any EMI because the construction is due in next 5 years. So this entire EMI is 0 at this point, but EMI will start when the delivery will be made. So the loan is running, bank is getting that interest part from the builder. It's not that I'm paying any pre-EMI in for this investment that I have. So now let's understand that I have a I'm just talking about a case, so just be careful. So I have I have a cash, right, in a saving. I have a saving amount. For the time being, let's say that saving amount is 30 lakhs. I have this amount in my bank. So various scenarios, I have this initial capital, this is the 2 loans running, and that's the EMI is also going in. So one of the thing that I let's say option 1, one of the option to consider here, this is what I believe is the better option, is that you 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 have to of course you have, in India we have to see whether this option, how many banks are giving. I know Bank of Baroda and State Bank of India, they provide this facility in a home loan. So you put this 30 lakhs from your saving account and to a different kind of account, let's say overdraft account, or for simplicity, um, let's say it's advanced saving account, something like that, so that we understand. So we park this money. It's not a regular saving. I'll put this into another account which I will open with the bank, and then of course I will have access to this money, and I can withdraw from my check and ATM. But if I don't withdraw, then there is a huge amount of potential to be unlocked. So what will happen in this? If I park my 30 lakh cash from my regular saving account to another type of account, let's call advanced saving or overdraft account, I still have the access to money, but I don't have to pay the interest part of the EMI. So if this EMI, for the sake of discussion sake, I can say that let's assume, of course these are not accurate, but let's assume that I'll pay interest is 20,000, and or maybe 25,000, whatever, and 5,000 is, let's say, the principal. So this is principal amount and this is interest amount. Suppose this number will vary, so we have to be careful. So when interest is higher, I purposely put higher because in the initial period of the home loan, the interest components are more. So 25,000 is the interest, or 20,000 is the interest. So when you put your 30 lakh in the OD account, so this 30 lakhs component that you put in OD, that will reduce your interest part. So for example, in this case, 30 lakhs we put, then interest, let's say we generate interest that we generate from this 30 lakh which is greater than 25,000, right? So for example, in this case, I put 30 lakh, I get, let's say, 30,000 interest. So 25,000 they will straight away reduce from your EMI. So basically, by putting this 30 lakhs into OD account or advanced saving account, my new EMI will have only principal component, which is 5,000, right? Because the entire interest will be taken care. Now, if these numbers are changing, of course, if you have lesser interest component, let's say 15,000 only, then you may put only 15 lakhs in your OD account so that you knock off the total interest part. If you have lesser, if you put, then you will not be able to knock off 100% of the interest, but some part. So for simplicity, we use 30 lakh. So we put 30 lakhs, we knock off the entire, and the new EMI, let's put it in new, the new EMI is 5,000 only. So now my current EMI has come down to 5,000. This 5,000 that I have to pay, I can also generate a rental income. So rental income in this case, roughly I'm expecting around, let's say, 20,000. So 20,000 is greater than this, so I have a surplus of 15,000 every month. So if I don't use this these information from here till here, I have to pay this 30,000 EMI and 20,000 is the rental. So net I have to add 10,000 extra. But in this context, if I just push my money from one account to another account, I get a surplus of 15,000. So this is a surplus money that you are generating. So, but otherwise you have to top up your 10,000 because the rental is only 20, you have to pay 30,000. So in previous, if you don't do anything, then you have to keep topping up with 10,000 rupees, right? Every month. So this will lower down the monthly outgo, and also you generate the better excess cash flow. So a house which was seen as a liability, this house was seen as a liability because you are every time you have to pay to some bank, and then now that has converted into a cash, an asset. Asset, so liability is converted into asset, Bear in mind, this conversion was possible provided you have some excess money in your saving account. Typically, you will not have, let's say, the entire amount. Then whatever amount you have, you should put that, and then manage the lower interest part. Now, when we understand this math, that EMI has two component, and if you in order to manage these loans better, we have to look at not just one number of EMI, but going forward we'll see the two numbers. One is the interest part, and the another one is the principal part. So now my next question is, now that we understand the EMI will have two component, one component which is interest can be knocked off by putting some investment saving into a separate kind of account, and through which you can generate the interest and they get knocked off. Another cool thing about this feature is you are getting equivalent interest rate by, say, if you put in saving 30 lakhs in your saving account in India, typically these days you'll get 7 to 8% return, whereas same amount you put in OD account, they'll give you the home loan rate of return. So home loan is always better, greater than the fixed deposit. So it's home loan currently in India is 9.5%, whereas the FDO is around let's say 5 to 6%. So 1 or 2% is always different. So you get the advantage of higher interest rate by putting the lump sum money into an OD type account. So that's the one part of this thing. I think in the next video I'm going to talk about some of these now how to use this theory that we just learned and apply in the second home and third home and so on and so forth. So stay tuned with me on the second part, and we'll talk about more in details. Thank you very much for watching this video.